This is part 3 of the changes assignment, and what we are going to do in this video is begin the alteration, the revision process of this object right here, and we're trying to turn it into this object right here. So if we take a good look at these pictures and really investigate the different sizes, the different measurements, we can see there's a lot of new stuff going on. So the depth of the object, it stayed 15 inches tall, it stayed 25 inches wide, but we went a lot fatter on it. So it went from 9 inches and we're going to go up to 15. One of the most obvious differences is that there are now 2 circular pegs on it as opposed to 1. If we look closely, we see that the circle peg, the original one, went from 7 inches to 9 inches. Both of them are going to be 9 inches. The radius on the peg stayed at 1 inch. On the nice little fillets at the base of it and at the top of it. This dotted line right here tells us that there is a hole in it. That's what we call a hidden line. So when you see a dashed line like that, and you can also see them up here, that it's basically, it makes the object see-through. So it shows us what is invisible to the eye if we check out those dotted lines. So we know that there is a hole that goes into each of these circle pegs, and that hole is going to be a 3-inch hole. So the circle peg stays at 5, but then it has a 3-inch hole running down the center of it. One more change is going to be the fancy edges on the object itself. We kept the fillets on the bottom, but we changed this up here to a chamfer. So it now has 2 chamfers on top and 2 fillets on bottom, whereas over here it had 1 and 3. So we have a lot of work to do in changing this object. So let's get started. I've got my version 1.0 right here, so I'm going to open that up. I think the first thing I want to do is remove these fillets, because like we said, this one goes from being a fillet to a chamfer. So I'm going to just remove all of them. In order to do that, you come over here to your browser. That's where a lot of the changes are going to happen. So we come over here to the browser and we right click on fillet, and then we can simply say delete, and it will get rid of those for us. So we're returning it back to those nice square edges that it had when we originally drew it. Now what I would like to do is extend this circle peg from the 7 inches that we had it to the 9 inches that we want it to be. So we're going to find that extrusion. We're going to left click. We don't want to delete it, we want to change it. So we're going to left click, and then it gives us 2 options. It says we can edit the sketch or we can edit the extrude. The sketch is fine because the radius doesn't change, it stays 5 inches. We want to edit the extrude. So we left click on that and we simply change it to a 9 to extend it. Now if we look at our drawings, I think the next thing I want to do is make it the 15 inches, make it a little fatter. So it was 9, we're going to change it to a 15. So again, you're going to find the extrusion you want to alter, and you're going to left click, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to edit the extrude. So it's going to go from 9 to 15. Excellent. We can take a look at our drawings again. I think it's time to add our new peg to the mix. So we will work on that new peg in video 4.